The stock market, specifically the S&P 500, is not measured in dollars. This question comes up a lot because we're talking about three things: the S&P 500, VFV, which is Vanguard's S&P 500 index denominated in Canadian dollars. And what's not mentioned here is VOO, which is the S&P 500 denominated in US dollars. This is the S&P 500 index, sometimes called SPX. It's monitoring 500 of the most productive businesses in America. The value goes up and down. Right now here it stands at 6090.37. That is not dollars. It is measured in points. The question here is comparing VFV, Canadian dollar denominated ETF that tracks the S&P 500, to the index SPX and wondering why there's a difference. Let's look at all three together. The S&P 500 navy blue line is the index. The market is at 6,088.91. That is points, not dollars. The yellow line is Vanguard's S&P 500 index ETF denominated in Canadian dollars. The light blue line is Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF denominated in US dollars. Navy blue line is measured in points. The yellow and the light blue line is measured in dollars. The yellow one in Canadian dollars, the light blue one in US dollars. So why is there a difference? The first is currency exchange. Canadian dollar and US dollar fluctuates second by second. Fees and expenses. VFV, which is in Canadian dollars, incurs a higher cost than VOO, which is denominated in US dollars. One way to think about this is that VOO, which is US domiciled, US dollar denominated, is closer to the source being a US index, S&P 500 in this case. As you get further from the source, Canada, for example, the fees start to increase. Third is liquidity. The VFV trades on the Toronto Stock Exchange. VOO trades on the US Stock Exchange. There are different amounts of people buying different amounts of these ETFs on different exchanges. Not going to be identical. Last but not least, dividend reinvestment. Both the Canadian and the US dollar index ETFs throw off dividends. The reinvestment schedule and timing are not going to be exactly the same.
Learn the lessons about money that your parents and teachers should have taught you. Download my free newsletter linked off the bio. Good luck. Take care.